Welcome,
Hello.
welcome. Hello, everybody. I am John Roberts, and I'm joined with Paul Richards from PTZ Optics. This is the live show for PTZ Optics happening every last Wednesday of the month. It's great to be here with you, Paul. Thank you guys for joining me. And as always, make sure to let us know where you're watching and what you're using at home in the comments. Now, today we have a lot to go over, so let's jump right into it. So, we are going to be talking about your holiday buying guide. So, you want to make sure you stay tuned to avoid all these live practice mishaps so we can guide you this holiday season for your worship, for your events this holiday season. So, stay tuned for that. That's what we'll be discussing on the live show today. We also will be talking a little bit about the Stream Geek Summit. So, just this past Monday, we gathered together to talk about streaming. Paul, tell me a little bit more about the Stream Geek Summit.
Yeah, this is our sixth annual Stream Geek Summit.
Wow.
Really a lot of fun. We had so many people coming together to produce video, get hands on with the technology. We've done this for 6 years. Our first year was in New York City. Now we moved to Philadelphia. But for the past 5 years, we've actually done it only virtual. And getting out in person to meet everyone, to really set up the tech was incredible. It was so much fun. You can see us using the PTZ cameras, joystick controllers. We were using vmix for the live streaming. We were using PTZOptics Hive for remote control. We were using Zoom events. It was a blast. I really just enjoy it so much getting together with so many different people, different backgrounds. We had a podcast and hundreds of people online joining as well. So it was very much a hybrid event where we were connecting people together from online and in person with this really powerful technology.
That's great, Paul. Thank you so much. It was such a great time to be there, and it's great to meet some of you and have some of our great partners come out and get to see all the great things they're offering for live streaming. So, moving on, we have great big announcements today, like I said, and that is also the Black Friday sale. So you can save up to $300 if you go in, decide from November 20th to December 2nd here. You can get some great discounts. Paul, I think you have the website pulled up over there. If you could show us a little bit about
Yeah.
what kind of offers we have this holiday
So
season.
kicking it off today, our Black Friday sale from today on through December 2nd. You could save up to $300 on PTZ Optics cameras and bundles, including $150 off the Move 4K, $100 off the Move SE, $50 off the Studio Pro, and up to $250 off the Producer SE bundle and 300 off the Producer 4K bundle. So check that out. Now is a good time to save some money on PTZ Optics products for Black Friday.
Thank you, Paul. Yeah, you can go to ptzoptics.com/Black Friday to learn more about where you can find these great deals or head to your favorite reseller of choice. We also have coming up is a quiz page. If you go to ptzoptics.com/quiz, you can learn a little bit more about your best production practices, maybe the best products that are for you as well. If you go to ptzoptics.com/quiz, you can take that simple 9-question quiz and it'll tell you a little bit more about the best hardware that's right for you. And it'll tell you exactly what kind of video producer you are. I think we're always wondering, where the future's going, what we need to get the best live streaming. Yeah, let's look at the quiz page, Paul. If we go over to ptzoptics.com/quiz, and we're going to take a look at this little quiz page. So basically, your vision, your control. We want you guys to have the option to answer, like I said, 9 simple questions after you enter in your name and information. You can learn all about what kind of producer are you. Are you a set and forgetter? Are you a multitasker or a picture perfectionist? There's a lot of different kinds of people out there. So take a look at the quiz page here, and you can learn a little bit more about your practices based on 9 simple questions here. Alrighty. So, last but not least, we have a couple more things here. We have the SuperJoy firmware update. If you have our great SuperJoy controller, as you're seeing here on the graphic, there's a brand new firmware update. So make sure to head to your web UI and update your firmware. And Paul actually has a little SuperJoy sitting right on his desk right now that we can take a look at right now.
Yeah, so I've got the brand new Superjoy here in front of me with the latest firmware Let me see if I can get this connected a little better here. Get a better view of my Superjoy with my Superjoy. But essentially, oh, Mike's, okay, I see. You got it like this. Interesting. So essentially, the Superjoy has some really great new features. Let's see if I can zoom in a hair. There we go. Here it is. And one of them is to control the backlight. So
Yeah,
you
the
can just
backlighting.
hold the setup button, turn off and on all of the backlight buttons. Another big one is naming of each camera directly in. So depending on what camera is, you know exactly what the name is. There's a new security feature. Security is super important for us, especially with network devices,
Absolutely.
right, that are available over the network. You want to have really great security. So we've increased the security. I can show a little bit of that in the web interface. But the other big thing that is now available, so if we log out, I'll show you guys how you now, the first time you log in, admin will no longer work. That's been a default with PTZOptics products for a long time. You now will be prompted to change the password immediately. And
Okay.
that's a new law going into effect. There's a lot of new cybersecurity laws that our team is working on, and one of them being the Superjoy. By the way, this Superjoy is actually able to control cameras through PTZOptics Hive now. So you can control PTZ cameras from anywhere in the world using a Superjoy. So this is going to be a huge new feature for the Superjoy, and that is now built into the latest version of Hive. So you can see I'm just quickly switching between cameras. These could be anywhere in the world, and you can control them instantaneously simply by adding a Superjoy or a PTJoy G4 to the controllers section of Hive. So we'll take a look at that later on, and we might even invite some of you to control the cameras in our studio by clicking this share button here in Hive.
All right, there's a lot more left to go over here, but last but not least, we have a new newsletter. Some of you might have gotten the first newsletter last October, and what you'll see is a newsletter coming into your mailbox every quarter of the year. So it's going to go over some of the newest videos that we talked about, newest features, maybe even some of the new products we're looking to release. Maybe even some surveys and getting some great information from you guys, our end users. So stay tuned to the PTZ Optics newsletter that is coming out to you very, very soon. And I think without further ado, it's ready to get the actual show started. All right. Well, we love you guys out there. We appreciate all you guys do. And what we like to do to honor you guys is talk about sharing your vision. So if you have a PTZ camera out there, whether it's our PTZ cameras or some of our fixed frame Z cams, box cameras, whatever you might be using that's PTZ optics, use hashtag share your vision and share it with us. What we like to do is highlight some of the great innovations that you guys are using with our cameras. And we want to show everyone there's so much great content out there and there's so much great productions that a lot of people just don't get to see. So here at PTZ Optics, we love to share your vision. And we have a really special vision this time around. Let's take a look at it, Mike.
At St. Anne, we have a wonderful setup for our volunteers to use in camera productions at mass. This is our custom piece, which controls the camera positions. And once they have the positions lined up, they use the ATEM Mini Extreme ISO to switch between cameras. And you could see, if I want to switch a camera, you can switch it to whatever has been chosen on the custom setup. If I go to camera 3, and then I can choose a new camera, and this obviously is displaying, or I can choose a camera on camera 1 and do a new position. And once the position is ready, I switch on the switcher to that position, and the new position is chosen and going out into our streaming environment. To build this camera button page, I am using a combination of a HTML page with JavaScript that calls a CGI script that then makes a call to the camera through a PTZ protocol. So if you look at this page, You can see that it starts out with styles, and then we have the HTML and the different objects on the page that will be called by the JavaScript. And then, of course, these are the buttons that you see in HTML. And if I keep going down, there's more things setting up for JavaScript for buttons and page position things. We have the cameras in our JavaScript are defined here. This important function that calls the CGI script with the tan and tilt or the zooming speed and label. So we're setting up calls that we're going to send to our CGI script with this JavaScript. And as you can see, there are lots of button positions for each camera.
Thank you so much to Mike and Monique from St. Anne Roman Catholic Parish in Gilbert, Arizona. So, you guys might have some questions about that because what you're seeing is not something that we built. That's actually something that they built on their end with our API. So, we talk a lot about our API with our cameras. And essentially, what you can do is use every command and every control from our cameras directly in any kind of custom solution. So, what Monique did is built this huge custom solution on their website. So volunteers and even an organist can go and control and move their cameras while they're live, before they're live. And that was a huge system they built. They're using G2 cameras, they're using a new Move SE, all combined with their own software solution from the tools that you're given with PTZ Optics. So I really wanted to highlight that. I think that's such a cool, unique way people are using our cameras. So let's get some questions from the chat. If you're interested about some of our cameras, what you might have seen in that video, let us know, and let us know again where you're watching and what you're interested from us. But Paul, I'll pass it over to you before I look into some comments over here.
All right. So what a cool scenario there where a customer is using our documentation. At PTZ Optics, we have a team working on documentation, building out the control protocols that you can use in a variety of computer programming languages. So she's using HTML there with some JavaScript, building out a custom project that works for her and that organization. So it's so cool. PTZ Optics has a GitHub page where we share a lot of example projects to get people going. And I see there's a comment here. I can't read it though. Hi from Ontario. Hi Puffer Luffer. I see someone else has created a PTZ controller to control cameras from far away. It's from
Oh yeah,
Stephen Tang. Very
yeah, a
cool.
lot of unique custom controls here. Look at this. Oh, you add the joystick to the cart for Hive Studio. That got people excited. Oh,
Yeah.
thank you, Ruby. It was nice speaking to you and learning a little bit more about your setup. Let's see what else we have here. Got my camera from last month's giveaway up and running at the church. Oh, that's great, Cole. That's amazing. Yes, don't forget, I didn't get to mention that. We have a Move SE giveaway at every live show that we do here. Every one we do. So every last Wednesday, we give a free Move SE away. So make sure you scan that QR code if you're interested in winning yours today.
Yeah, and Cole, please submit a video of what you're up to, and maybe you could do the share the vision next week. We'd love to see how you're using our cameras and what's going on. So if you're watching, snap a short little 1 or 2 minute video, and we'll play it next live stream.
Alrighty, we have a question here. When do Hive linked cameras drop from Ruby?
That's a great question. We are shooting for Q1 of next year, so sometime probably February, March of next year. Also, there's a beta user group for PTZ Optics Hive that you can contact me or John about, and we can get you kind of set up with testing and trying this stuff out. I saw Ruby's question about the SuperJoy controlling Hive itself. That's
Yes.
a great idea. And I think we really need to write that one down, John.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
currently, the way it works is that the SuperJoy can control all the cameras in Hive. So you could
Yeah.
have a Sony camera, a Panasonic camera, a PTZOptics camera. Any camera you get into Hive, you can control with the SuperJoy, but the SuperJoy doesn't necessarily control Hive. You still need a keyboard and mouse for like camera switching. So it's something to think about.
Okay, interesting. Ruby also asked if you can use the SuperJoy remotely. So we're in the same location that you're using the SuperJoy with Hive. Can you use it at a separate location entirely, Paul?
Yeah, so the way that it works is you basically have Hive open and you connect the SuperJoy to Hive. And I'm going to publish a video about this. This is really, we just got this working this week. It is in the latest version of Hive. But essentially, whatever studio you're connected to, it will control those cameras, whether they're in your local studio or remote. So we're going to be testing some remote studios soon, but the latency is very, very low and it's usable anywhere in the world.
Alrighty, Paul. I think we have a great question here that kind of sets us up moving forward in our live show here. John and Dan Unscripted asked, what camera/control package do you recommend to replace my traditional 3-camera production studio?
Wow, that's a good question. If you have traditional cameras, I'm guessing you're talking about like camcorders or band cameras. One of the great things about PTZ cameras, especially when you have like at least two, is when you switch between them, as we saw in our Share Our Vision video, you can switch between them and you can move those cameras around. So one or two PTZ cameras can replace 3 to 5 static cameras, right? So you might only need 1 or 2 PTZ cameras to replace a 3-camera traditional system. I would say just 1 PTZ camera, but it's nice to have 2 so that you can cut between 2 live shots. If you only have 1 PTZ camera, you probably will be cutting to a screen capture or an image while you move the PTZ camera to the next location.
Yeah.
Having a joystick like the SuperJoy is a great option so that you can physically control them whether you are on site or now anywhere in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a lot of people out there that are using our cameras and they maybe haven't upgraded to the Move SE or the Move 4K. So I wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about the G2 in comparison to the Move family here. So here we have 3 cameras set up, and what we're going to do is showcase the G2 footage, the Move SE, and the Move 4K footage. So here we have our individual cameras. Up top left there, we have our G2 20X. On the right, our Move SE 1080 60 FPS camera, which is a 30X, and our Move 4K down in the left there, which is a 20X, and that's 4K 60 FPS as well. So I'm gonna get up, Paul, if you could tell us a little bit about the differences here, and I'll be your Vanna White for today and showcase each camera individually.
Awesome. So one of the first things we're seeing here is we have a white camera on the left. That is our Gen 2 model. That is an NDI Gen 2 camera. In the middle, we have our PTZOptics Move SE, which is our 1080p 60 FPS camera. And then on the right, we have our 4K, our Move 4K. Each of these cameras, if I'm not mistaken, there we go, are powered over Ethernet. So we can see here that there's just a single Ethernet connection powering these cameras. You can see they have very similar connections on the back. We've made some improvements on the Move SE and the Move 4K, including the ability to have USB connectivity, the ability to have auto tracking built in to the Move SE and the Move 4K. But other than that, you can see the form factor is very similar. So it's still a very simple situation of deciding how much optical zoom do you need? And are you okay with a 1080p stream, or do you want to create a future-proof system where you think, hey, we might want to go 4K in the future, or we're ready for 4K now, where you would go with the Move 4K camera? So I think we're going to dig into some of the key reasons why you might want to think about the 4K camera over 1080p as a starting point.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can probably see right away the Move SE and the G2 is is a very stark difference between the two. And we tried to adjust color code as much as we could to align, but you can see low light immediately. It's struggling to keep up with the Move SE and the Move 4K. So right away, obviously, it's very clear the 4K 60 FPS sensor in the Move 4K is going to give you a lot better low light scenarios. And we'll go into a little bit on how to prepare for those low light scenarios, like your candlelight services or very dim rooms that you might have this holiday season. So obviously your image quality is going to be increased and improved a lot when you jump from the G2 to the Move 4K. You're also going to see, as Paul mentioned, great auto tracking features like our presenter lock. And when you use presenter lock, what you are is essentially locking into your presenter, and it'll follow them left to right, back, forward, as long as you want. You can have a forward group of people in front of them. You can have a crowd behind them. It'll say locked onto your presenter for as long as you want. Now, you're not going to get the advanced level of tracking from a camera like the Move SE compared to the Move 4K. You're going to get the latest innovation auto tracking features specifically on the Move 4K first and foremost. What you also get is NDI HX3. So a lot of you might still have those G2 cameras. A lot of you probably paid to upgrade to get that NDI added into your camera. So not only does the Move SE come native with NDI, you're also going to get improved NDI performance on the Move 4K series with HX3. So you're going to get even better improvement on the NDI side. And then we go forward, and we love talking about Hive here. We're so excited for the release. G2 cameras, you can definitely bring them into the Hive, but you're not going to get all the added advantages that you will from the Move SE and the 4K. What you're going to get is what we call Hive linked. You're going to be able to have Hive directly embedded onto these cameras. Paul, is there any way you could tell us, or maybe even show off the Hive a little bit to show and tell people a little bit more about what it means to be Hive linked for our
Yeah, and
cameras?
Hive linked is something we're going to be talking a lot about because it's a really big deal. And if you check out my screen here, Mike, I have a little example of what Hive linked is. So any camera pretty much you can bring into Hive because you can bring in any USB connected camera, any webcam, any HDMI or SDI camera by converting it to USB. And in this diagram, what we're showing here is any of these cameras can be plugged into a computer that has Hive running, and we can now remotely control them. So we can get them into Hive and share access with anyone in the world. But with Hive linked cameras, we do not need a computer at all. And that is a really big deal because if you're a school and you want to have 3 or 4 sports fields, right, or 10 tennis courts or 16 classrooms, anytime that we want to scale audio and video to multiple locations, having a computer in every location is expensive and it's difficult to manage. So with Hive linked, you can literally connect to the camera on your local area network, log it into your Hive account one time. This only needs to happen one time. You connect it to your account. You can unplug it, ship it anywhere in the world. As soon as it's installed and connected to internet, you have remote access. So it's much easier to manage cameras without needing to have a computer. And this also allows you to mix and match. So you can have one studio here, another studio with different cameras, and you can also add audio into the camera. So the cameras have a 3.5 millimeter audio input. So we can connect the camera to Hive and remotely manage all the audio and the video without needing extra computers in between. So Hive linked is a really big deal. But if you have a G2 camera, it's okay. We can still support it, but you'll need a Mac or a PC computer running the software, which you can see here. This is the software running on a Windows computer here, which is bridging. But the nice thing about it is we can connect to any camera that's supported in our system, which is a lot of cameras. You'll see here that we can connect to Sony, Panasonic, Canon, JVC, Lumens. There's a long list of cameras that we support, and those supported cameras can be connected to Hive, but they will require a computer in the middle. PTZOptics Move SC and Move 4K cameras will be linked directly.
And it doesn't stop just there. You're going to get additional features directly from the Move 4K in Hive. You're going to be able to adjust those individual auto tracking features directly in the Hive. Obviously, you're going to maybe add that to the G2, but it's not going to be onboard auto tracking. using computer vision and getting the best auto tracking that you can possibly do. A huge advantage of the Move 4K is, as we mentioned, here we have a great giveaway, but we also have a beta program for our wonderful beta testers. If you go to ptzoptics.com/beta, you can enter into our beta program where you can get great new features from the Move 4K, like our brand new user interface, which is coming very soon. That's all I'll say. And we also are adding great features that are already out, like voice tracking, that you'll be able to get first only on the Move 4K. So consider future-proofing your setup. The Move 4K is going to take you into the next 5-10 years for your production. So think about that. When we move into the Move SE, you're going to focus on, obviously, if we go back to the 3-camera setup here, Mike, we can see the huge performance difference between the Move SE and the G2. You'll notice that the low light performance on the G2 is definitely struggling compared to our Move SE. And you'll see just a better color, more accurate color, brighter saturation of the color across the board. So you'll see straight up improved performance, obviously. You also get native NDI, like I mentioned, right out of the box. You can plug it in and start using, after your firmware update, of course, you can start using NDI right out of the box. And then, of course, as Paul was just mentioning, Hive integration is really the future for us in remote production and controlling your production from anywhere. A lot of you have multiple different kinds of G2s. We are taking all of those different models, the USB, the NDI, the SDI and HDMI. We're combining it all into one, and that is our Move SE camera. So consider upgrading. You have a great opportunity this Black Friday to get the best deal possible. So take a look at the Move SE and the Move 4K. And last but not least, we also have a wonderful camera here on the table. I don't know if we have a wide shot here that we can show. That is our Link camera. So it's the same sensor as our Move 4K, but that is Dante integrated. So you have Dante AVH with the power of Audinate to control your production. So we are trying to offer a solution for everyone. Take a look at our Move series of cameras. I don't think you will be disappointed. Alrighty. Now, this show wouldn't be possible without our lovely producer in the back, Mr. Mike. And I'm so happy to say that we have some more content, maybe even in front of the camera content from our wonderful producer, Mike. Take it away. Let's see what you got.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from PTZOptics and welcome to the Producer's Pro Tips. I'm here to let you know on the 3 tips to help you for your live streaming holiday survival guide. Let's jump into it. Tip number 1 is update your camera and your joystick's firmware. If you don't know how to do that, I'm linking in the description below to our update video on YouTube. Tip number 2, set up all your equipment ahead of time and test. And I can't tell you how important that is. Test, and test again. And just don't go live the day of your event. Make sure you go live a couple days before so you can see how everything is working and acting, and then you can make those pivots to make your live stream great. And tip number 3 is, this is another camera tip, is make sure you save your presets ahead of time so you have everything locked in, the color correction is looking good, and you're good to go. So those are your 3 tips for your live streaming holiday survival guide. Hit me up in the comments below if you want to know anything else, and I'll see you next week.
Thank you so much, Mike. I appreciate you doing that. That's a great video. Hopefully we continue to do that every month. And remember, we are here at the last Wednesday of every month at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So before we jump into our holiday survival guide, we have a couple questions that popped up here. If you could help me answer them, Paul. So we have audiovisual integration asking, is the Move SE HX2 for NDI?
Yes, that is my understanding. Yes.
Yep. So we also have HX3 for the improved performance on the Move 4K. So consider that if that's something specific you're looking for. We also have, if they're asking about the Move series in particular, can it be hardwired to Ethernet/LAN, or does it have to be? Maybe is the question.
Yes. The cameras get power over Ethernet. So generally speaking, they will be hardwired for power over Ethernet, for control, and for sending video over NDI or Dante AVH.
So you can also use HDMI and SDI, of course. That's always an option if you don't want to rely on your Ethernet connection only. Let's see, what else do we have?
Oh, I see what the question is. So essentially, if you want to use power, an actual power outlet to control the camera, to plug into the wall or a power source, then yes, you could just use HDMI or SDI. For control, you could use the trusty IR remote in that case if you don't have IP, or you could use a serial joystick. So if you don't have power over Ethernet or a network connection at all, that's okay. In fact, I'm going to be using the cameras without a network connection this weekend when I live stream a soccer game.
Oh, that's great. I'm excited to see when that comes back, Paul. Ruby, again as well. You're so wonderful. Thank you. I'm look forward to it. We can, of course, talk again about the Move 4K. It's Hive Link coming out very soon with our latest firmware updates. So you don't need to buy a new one if you already have a Move 4K or a Move SE. Once we get that Hive linked firmware, you're going to update your cameras and integrate it right into the Hive. Alrighty. I think we about hit everything on the Move 4K and the Move SE. So I think it's finally time to jump into our holiday survival guide. Alrighty. So we have some slides to go here, and what we're going to look into is a little bit of tips and tricks to, improve your production this holiday season. Whether you have your candlelight service or your special worship services that you might need in low lighting, all the way to your corporate events for your holiday parties, whatever you need, hopefully we're covering it today in our live streaming survival guide. Alrighty, so let's jump right into it. Don't forget, always keep your gear in top shape. No matter what, when you're starting out, you want to make sure that you're on the latest firmware for both your cameras and joysticks, like our wonderful SuperJoy. And then don't forget the pesky Windows updates. They are such a pain. Always make sure to go into your search bar and just type update. You can run your updates very easily. And make sure you do that not the day of the stream, at least a day or two before, because you never know how long those are going to take. So, Paul, could we look into how we can update our cameras and our
Yes.
joysticks?
So when you log into the web interface of your camera, and I have this pulled up here, Mike, to show, you can go to the system settings, and all you have to do is click check firmware update. And the camera will reach out and with its current firmware and just tell you whether or not. Now, this one is up to date. If it wasn't up to date, it would allow you to simply download the software, and then you could upload the new file, hit apply, it will reboot, and it will load the latest firmware. Similar situation with our SuperJoy. This is the PTZOptics SuperJoy controller web interface. To access this, all you have to do is type in the device's IP address, which we have a lot of tutorials on how to get to, and you would simply hit the check firmware button, and you will get a notification there. So that is how to quickly check to see if your products have the latest firmware.
Oh, that's great. Thank you, Paul. And that's the same as well for the SuperJoy, your controller of choice. Don't forget to update that as well. As we mentioned, brand new firmware that just came out for the SuperJoy. And you can do a lot of cool stuff. Name your presets. You can enable certain lights for certain buttons, so you make sure that your volunteers aren't hitting the wrong buttons. Now, don't forget about that. It's very important. But let's go back to our survival guide here for the holidays, and let's see what's next. Don't forget to polish your production. There's nothing you should be doing other than testing the day or two before, even a week before. You want to keep testing. So you want to make sure that you're testing your internet. You can go to speedtest.net, which is a great, simple, easy to remember URL. Speedtest.net. You can test your network upload and download. Don't forget, if you're going live, your upload speed is very important. And you want to make sure that your quality that you're streaming at is capable on the upload speed that you have. Don't forget, you want to make sure you're running those test streams on that network and you're just testing it at least a couple times before you're ready on the day of. And don't forget, you may have some leftover assets, but if you have some time now ahead of time, make sure you update and refresh your graphics and assets, because those will come in handy. Alrighty, let's keep moving along. And of course, it's no better time to buy than Black Friday. Of course, if you are buying something new, don't forget, as we mentioned, to always update your cameras when you get them, and your SuperJoy, of course. And now you can save up to $300 on our Black Friday sale if you get one of our great bundles, our producer bundles for either the Move 4K or the Move SE. Alrighty, don't forget, preset, preset, preset. Presets are essential in our cameras, and with PTZ Optics cameras, they're essential. So, Paul, I want to talk a little bit about presets in our cameras and then a little bit about low lighting scenarios for those tricky low lighting live streams.
Yeah, so there's several different ways to set PTZ camera presets, and they really are the important kind of way to use these cameras are to set presets. So what it is you can zoom a camera in to a specific location. Why don't I go ahead and do it right now? I have the web UI open, and what I'll do is I'm going to zoom into our little setup here that we have for these three cameras, and I'm going to set a preset because I think it's easier to see this. And so this is the web UI, but there's a variety of ways to set a pan tilt zoom preset, which is basically a saved position for your cameras. And it saves focus, it saves color correction, and it saves everything about the current camera position. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this preset. Let's just say for number 5, I'm going to hit the set button. And I see down here it says success. I have set preset 5. So now when I go to a different place, and I'll set just 2 presets for this example. In fact, this will show you kind of how our studio is set up. This is a kind of give you a wide screen. This is a screen that me and John are looking at. We'll set this for preset 6. Now when I call preset 5, it's going to go right back to preset 5. And when I call preset 6, it's going to zoom out and go to preset 6. That is what presets are. They're saved positions that allow you to very easily go from one location to another. Now, the same is true with the PTZ Optics SuperJoy, for example. And the SuperJoy takes it another level. It actually allows us to do super presets. So I want to show what this is as an example here. So now that we showed setting one preset, the SuperJoy has custom buttons where I can say, by clicking one button, I want camera 1 to go to preset 2. I want camera 2 to go to preset 2, and camera 3 to go to preset 2, and camera 4 to go to preset 2. The reason why I would do that is if there was a scene change. So I'll give you an example here. This is one of my favorite examples here. Let's say that there's a baptism area in a church, and everyone is focused on that area. You can have one button to click to get all 4 of your cameras to that area from different angles. So if you've got a camera in the back, 2 cameras on the different sides, sometimes people are in the way based on how things are happening. So this is a great way to send multiple cameras a preset command. And another really great use case for this is when you're working with volunteers or different people are moving cameras around, you can have one button to just set all the cameras back up to a known location. You walk in, you click a button, and all the cameras are at standard preset 1, for example, with a certain color correction. So I went from showing you how to use a preset to how to use a super preset. So hopefully, if you have any questions, let us know. But that is how to set a preset and how to set a super preset.
Yeah, I love presets. There's something I also love is the preset tour, which you're allowed to set up a series of presets and trigger them throughout. So if you have multiple people on stage you want to manually or automatically switch to without manual control, you can set up your preset tour as well, which you have a great video on our YouTube page here all about the preset tour you can check out. Alrighty, so let's go back to our holiday guide here. And let's see what else we have. Oh, don't forget, we have some low lighting tips if you have a candlelight service. What are some tips and tricks, Paul, if you have a very low light scenario?
Yeah, so this is an important thing about PTZ Optics cameras, and it's a reason to go with the 4K model if you know you're going to have a lot of low light scenarios. It's a larger, more resolution to work with, and you get better low light performance with the Move 4K. Now, the Move SE and the Move 4K have Sony sensors, which have improved light across the board. And I have some pictures of some low light settings of what you can do in super low light scenarios. So let's take a look at a project we worked on recently with a church. And one of the cool things you're seeing in this picture, by the way, is image magnification. So the camera is at the back of a church, about 150 feet away from this stained glass window up here. Yet we're able to zoom into this image. It's a stained glass window of Jesus from up to 150 feet away. So you can capture a head and shoulders shot with a Move 4K 30X from over 150 feet away. It's really incredible. You can see the software over here. This is vmix we were using to switch between these videos and do some color correction. We were using obviously a controller, the SuperJoy controller, to zoom the camera in and out. And then we decided to test low light. And on the right-hand side, what you're seeing is the camera just out of the box. This is not adjusted for low light. On the left-hand side, you're seeing full adjustments. So it's interesting this was a Move 4K camera. With all that resolution, we can increase the gain. We can open that iris. We can slow down the shutter speed. You want a slow shutter speed when you're in low light. And we'll look at some of this in more detail. But it's incredible what you can do if you know you're going to be in a low light situation. You can actually save a preset for low light. So it can take some time to get the gain up and all the different contrast levels and luminance levels up to achieve this. This took about 10 minutes for us to get all the levels changed to get this adjusted for low light. But once you've done that, you could set a preset, and you could set up to 255 presets on a camera. So you could have presets for low light starting at 100 and presets for normal daylight starting at 1. And you can quickly adjust the settings very quickly. So you can see with no low light. And we give you profiles for low light as a starting point. So you can see here all of the low light profiles that you can access in your camera. So in your camera, we have these profiles. And you'll see you can quickly jump into the low light one here or create your own. And what these do is you can download it and then add it to your camera. Now, I'm not going to do this right now because I know Mike has the cameras set up the way he wants them. But what you would do is you would go in and you would look at the image tab especially and start to increase the luminance if it's too dark. You would increase the contrast as needed. You would change the exposure to open up that iris as much as possible and perhaps open up the shutter speed as much as possible. And then start to play with the gain and the dynamic range till you get everything just right. Then you can save that profile for low light and easily recall it as needed. So to answer Matt's question, yes, this is what I'm showing here. What a profile is the ability to bulk copy all of that information and quickly load it into the camera when you need it.
When we jump back into the Hive later at the end of the show here, we can show you presets in the Hive and coloring in the Hive as well to get a good feel of how it works in our new camera controller as well. So alrighty, do not forget, if you have any support issue, any sort of issue with tech, you have any questions that you need some answers from our wonderful support team, do not forget to push and ask for help. It's times are needed. We need help. It's okay to reach out. Don't forget that you want to reach out before December 11th if you want to really get your setup correct. You want to be prepared for your stream. Make sure you contact our support team at support@PTZOptics.com and mention that we are also closed for Thanksgiving. So don't forget that we're going to be closed a little bit for the holidays, and you want to get in your support tickets or give them a ring at the number on the bottom of the slides there. Alrighty, moving on into our holiday survival guide. Don't forget to always embrace your community. Here at PTZ Optics, we have a wonderful community, our beautiful PTZ Optics users. And don't forget that we have a wonderful Facebook group. If you look for the PTZ Optics Pals on Facebook, there's a wonderful community. They share tips, troubleshooting guides. It's where we pull from a lot of our great end users, where we get those share your visions from, is from that great Facebook group. And also from our beta tester group. We have a wonderful Discord group of active beta testers. Like I mentioned, if you have a Move 4K or a Move SE or a Link 4K and you want the latest and greatest features like voice tracking, for instance, which you can access now at our beta, if you go to ptzoptics.com/beta, you can get access to that as well. Alrighty, and last but not least, don't forget, it is the holiday season. Ready, set, holiday. It's time to light up your live streaming with some of these holiday tips. I'm hoping that was helpful. Paul, is there any last little tips you would recommend for people this holiday season when they're getting ready for their live streaming?
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to double check everything and do tests. So double check everything. Our support team is here to help you. Do not hesitate to reach out. So double check everything. If it's, there was a question about getting the low light profile. I'm sure we can get that for you. Give us a call, send us an email. Let's make sure everything is ready before the holiday season rush. I think that's the whole point of this stream today. If anyone is interested in trying Hive for these last 15 minutes, you can email me at paul@ptzoptics.com and I'll give you access now so you can experience what that product is like. So feel free to email me, paul@ptzoptics.com, because I think we were going to play around with Hive a little bit and show the color correction tools there. Is that where we're at this point,
Yeah,
John?
let's do it. And thank you, Hallie, for mentioning that support will also be closed on Christmas and Christmas Eve. Don't forget that you want to get your contacts in and you want to mention and reach out to support before December 11th to get the best possible timeline for your production, okay? Alrighty, Paul, let's look into Hive Studio, the latest and greatest from PTZ Optics. Don't forget, this is a closed beta. We're opening up very soon in the future, but let's take a look and see what we have.
Yeah. So jumping into Hive here, we talking about color correction as well. One of the things we're trying to do here, especially, is if you have multiple PTZ camera brands. I know at my church we have a Panasonic, we have a Canon, and we have a PTZ Optics. So there's 3 different camera brands, and working with that as a volunteer, we just weren't able to do color correction because it's just 3 different tabs. It's just so hard. So what you can do here in the image tab is have the exact, oh great, Ruby wants to try. All right. Now Ruby, what's going to happen here is the email that you sent me, I am going to invite to Hive. So Ruby asked to get an invite. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and invite you to be a controller to the email that you sent. There you go. And that automatically sends Ruby an invitation to control the PTZ cameras in Hive. So I guess the latency must be pretty low on YouTube because that was fast.
That was
Good job,
very
Ruby.
fast, yeah.
So Ruby will be able to come in here and she'll be able to start live streaming. We showed how there's this really cool feature for like zooming into specific areas of a camera and the ability to just kind of very easily move cameras around with a point and click. But the thing that John mentioned was these color presets. And what this does is it allows you, oh, we got another one. Jeremy would like to try. All right, Jeremy, I'm going to send you a link now. This is always one of the more fun when we get like 4 or 5 people in here and they're going crazy on their live streaming. All right, we just invited Jeremy. So what you can do is if you have a camera, and we'll look at this full screen. I don't want to mess with it too much because I know Mike has it the way he wants it. But essentially, you can adjust the gain a little bit, tune things in, get the luminance. And by the way, right up here, I see this. See, that's Ruby. So Ruby is in. So some of these cameras are going to start moving without, that's not me, right? Ruby is controlling the ceiling camera right now. Good job, Ruby. This is going to be fun. Ruby is seeing basically this exact interface in a web browser. That is what we send to the audience when they join. So this allows you to control your entire production we can do recording all of your video here. We can do streaming. You can see where you save this. And we're going to be showing, and you can output the NDI on the far end. So a lot of really cool stuff. With this color preset that we were talking about, once you get the color where you want it, let's just, for example, I'll say like way too much gain, just for the heck of it, and hit the plus button here. That would be like a super low light preset because we would be using tons of gain. And then to turn that off, we would go back to this. So it is basically a very simple, easy way to have as many color correction presets as you'd like in one space. And we can see here, now we have 2 people in the studio here, jumping in and controlling the camera. So the share feature is super powerful for allowing people to just be a viewer, to just be a producer, and someone who could be an admin there to
Yeah.
invite people in. Now we've got 3. Uh-oh.
So as you can see, we have those 3 cameras there. Don't forget the G2 is the white camera, in the middle is our Move SE, and the Move 4K. So I know color correcting can be the most annoying thing when it comes to cameras. And if you're using 3 different cameras, they might have 3 different sensors. They might look entirely different. Maybe you have a DSLR in Hive, or you have a USB webcam. All of that color is going to be very different. And I don't think there's an easier tool to color correct than Hive Studio. By able to take a single preset like that and apply it to all of your cameras. And like I said, it's not even just PTZOptics cameras. You can bring in a whole line of different PTZ cameras, USB cameras, DSLRs. If you have a capture card, you can add up to 400 different make and models of cameras. And we ain't stopping. We're going to keep growing that list and going beyond that. So, Paul, I want to throw this comment back up because I thought it was funny, and I don't know if you saw it or not. John McRae said, "You better be using PTZOptics in your church."
We do. I will. Here's what I'll say though. We switched churches like 2 years ago to a really awesome new Presbyterian church that's really close to our house. So they had already had a couple Canon cameras and Panasonic and Double Act Magic. I was like, we've got it all. I was got to add a PTZOptics into this mix. But yes, we do have PTZOptics.
They need to get a producer bundle. You need to push them to save $300 this holiday season, and our great Black Friday deal to get $300 off. Alrighty, now we are gearing up to the end of the show. And before we get to our wonderful giveaway of the Move SE here that we showed off earlier today, we want to ask from you. If you have questions about maybe the 3 difference of the cameras that we showed off today, the holiday survival guide, the amazing producer tips from Mike, the share your vision from the very beginning of the show, don't forget to scan that QR code if you're interested in winning our Move SE today. Last I checked, we had over 1,500 entrances, so we might be here looking for the real winner here as we do it live on Gleam. But let's see what we have in the chat here. We dim our lights sometime. Okay. All right, Richard, I saw you said you don't know how to enter, so you can always check in the description of our live stream. That's always where you can find the giveaway link. If not, our wonderful producer throws up that QR code every once in a while to scan, and then you'll be taken right to our giveaway page where you can enter. There you go. Alrighty, I see Atlanta Deliverance asked, what about low light scenarios? So obviously we showed that off a little bit earlier in the stream. I would just scroll back a little bit and you'll see some more info about low light scenarios and live streaming. Here we have a very interesting question, and I'm sure our engineers behind Hive would be very interested to hear this. Here we have, do you have a tool for colorblind people? And I'm assuming it's in reference to either the RCMP, is it in reference to a Hive Studio? That's a great question, and maybe after the show I'll reach out to you and we can talk a little bit about more what that means. I know accessibility is very important to us, so we want to make sure that we have all the options available for anyone that might need it. Oh my gosh, we have a wonderful comment again from Ruby here. Let me send it into here. She is the best again. She is hyping us up again. She thinks Hive Studio is going to change the whole industry. Well, Ruby, we hope so too. We hope that it really makes some waves and people are very excited about Hive just like you. Oh, we have another wonderful comment here. You guys are too sweet. Thank you for all your kind comments and contributions. You guys are so nice to us. I can keep going. You guys are very sweet. I'm blushing right now. Alrighty. So as the questions come in, Paul, should we pull a giveaway winner?
We should. I will get ready for that. I was getting a whole bunch of people asking to access Hive, so
Okay.
I love to see that. It's really, really great to give everybody access to Hive and see how instantly you can be remotely controlling cameras. It is going to change the game because when we release it in Q1, it's also going to have a full video production switcher. And so that way for $25 a month, you get a PTZ Joy controller, you get a video switcher, streaming, recording, NDI bridge, all in one function, one system. So instead of buying a video switcher that might go out of date, you're getting one that is always going to be constantly the best of the best in the industry. So it is going to change the game. And I'm really, really looking forward to, if you're interested in being a beta tester, let us know, because that's what's sort of adding so much time to we're just adding new features, getting great ideas, adding them in again and again. So I need to pull a giveaway winner.
From the Ridley family, they asked, we are bordering on pushing the CPU on our streaming tower, just running OBS and the simple track light on HDMI. How much is a Hive going to go? And I'm assuming you mean how much is it going to run up your CPU? I don't believe it's going to push. It depends really what you're using, the hardware you're using. What I would first recommend is going to ptzoptics.com/Hive, where you can learn more about our recommended specs. That's closer to the bottom of the page. If you scroll down, you can see those recommended specs. And our Hive engineers are very dedicated to making Hive for everyone. So we are trying to lower the recommended specifications. They're constantly trying to update our beta and improve the performance. And with that is lower CPU usage as well. So
Yeah, and the other thing to consider too is that if you're using a Hive linked camera, you don't need a computer at all. So it's something to consider. You can take the computer out of the equation completely. You could use your computer for slides on your projector, for Easy Worship or Pro Presenter. So you could repurpose that computer completely for something else, and then use your Hive linked camera for your streaming, and you don't even need a computer. So depending on your system and your setup, if you can get rid of that computer completely by using a Hive linked camera, now we've got a real remote producer going. This is great.
Yeah.
Because I think that is someone else controlling that camera other than Mike.
So is this your first poll? John McLaughlin, are you here? That is our
Yes.
first giveaway entrance. And we're going to look out for you in the chat. If you are here, let us know. We aren't going to leave until we pull that winner. So stay tuned. If you're in the chat, be very loud so we can find you. All right. While we're waiting, doesn't look like we have John here, but I'll push this great question from Vincent. He's putting fire under our feet. Will you use the switcher yourself? And that means Hive Studio. Will we use Hive Studio over vmix? Well, we have Paul to help answer that question. We also have Mike in the back. I'm curious his points if he wants to chime in as well.
vmix is a very advanced video production software. And if you look at what we're doing today, we're showing vmix social comments. We're doing a multi-camera production with vmix today. I think a lot of people who aren't doing a lot of advanced graphics will start to use Hive very quickly. But with folks who are, it is going to be a video switcher, so it'll be an alternative to vmix. But if you need lots of graphics and overlays, then probably you're probably going to go towards the vmix solution still. It's a very great software, so we'll have to see.
Yeah, we'll definitely see. There's a lot to Hive. We're focusing on camera control first and foremost, but it's going to have your ISO recording, your overall stream outputs, and it's going to have switching. So we are a great platform that's going to be doing a lot of different things besides just camera control. So stay tuned to learn more about that. We'll get into that very soon.
I'm going to pull another winner, John.
All right, let's pull another winner. Let's see what we have here. Uh-oh, wait, before you pull another winner, look who just hopped in on the comments. That is John McLaughlin. Thank you so much, John. You are the winner of the Move SE. You were so lucky. You just pulled in at the very last second there and got the win. Thank you, John, for registering. And don't forget, we are live here the last Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time of every month. And we give away one of our great Move SE 1080p 60 FPS cameras to one of you great listeners. Don't forget, you have to be here live like John was to get the Move SE. And throw in your questions here. We have a lot of congrats. Ruby as well, showing some love. Thank you for watching, everybody. And thanks for throwing in these amazing comments for all of us. We really appreciate it. Alrighty, don't forget, if you want to go to PTZOptics.com/Black Friday or your favorite reseller of choice, there's a lot of great places to buy PTZ Optics cameras, and it's no better time to buy them because you can save up to $300 on one of our great producer bundles. And Paul, is there anything else you would like to say to our wonderful audience before we go?
I just want to thank everybody for watching today. It has been so much fun. We do have one last live stream for the year, but it's actually going to be our worship summit. So December 18th, that's our last stream of the year. Yep. Because the last Wednesday of the month this year is actually Christmas. It's December 25th. So we usually try to stick to the last Wednesday of the month. But I guess this month we had a conflict as well because of Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Then we've got a conflict because of Christmas. So December 18th is going to be the worship summit. We will be sending out information about that, I hope, this week. I'm going to try to do a short video about it and get that out there because it's going to be a super fun day. We have a whole bunch of great speakers. And with our worship summits and our summits, we invite you to join a Zoom meeting. So there's a whole networking and breakout session that you can join. We'll obviously be giving access to Hive and digging deep into a lot of different products, but that's a little less of a live stream where we're interacting here, and a lot more of a networking and breakout session where we really get to chat and talk. So I really enjoy that. I think it'll be super fun to get to know everybody, and it's specifically for our House of Worship customers. So if you're a House of Worship, I think it'll be a great chance for us to connect.
Thank you so much, everyone. We appreciate you tuning in. Tune in next time on December 18th or December 3rd for our Giving Tuesday event. Thank you, everybody, and we'll see you very soon. I'm John from PTZOptics. Thank you so much. I'm going to keep waving.
Welcome to a new era of video production. We present the PTZOptics Producer Bundles, broadcast quality made affordable. It's time to open your next chapter in video production. Choose between the sharp 1080p resolution Producer SE or the elevated, ultra-high definition Producer 4K. Both bundles are PoE ready, ensuring easy setup. Whether it's a high-paced event or a permanent installation, managing these systems is a breeze. Setup is truly plug and play, so you can effortlessly set up and break down with ease, ensuring your production is as smooth and efficient as possible. With the PTZOptics Producer Bundles, embrace the flexibility and convenience needed to elevate your on-site video production experience, all while capturing your vision with unparalleled quality and precision. The Producer SE bundles feature three 20x Move SE cameras, featuring enough optical zoom to capture head and shoulder views of your subject from over 50 feet away. Experience the convenience of auto tracking and the versatility of multiple video outputs, including HDMI, SDI, USB, and IP, all in stunning 1080p. This bundle includes our 4th generation IP joystick, managing multiple cameras seamlessly with the intuitive PTZ camera controls, all at a budget-friendly price. Step up your game with the Producer 4K bundle. The Move 4K cameras capture every detail, delivering unparalleled 4K clarity, advanced auto tracking, and a 20x lens that brings every detail into focus. Integrate the SuperJoy controller, which features integrations with vmix, TriCaster, and other video solutions, setting a new standard in joystick operations and elevating your production control to new heights. PTZOptics bundles are designed with the future in mind, integrating intelligent video production workflow with built-in auto tracking features, allowing users to take manual control of a 1 or 2 PTZ camera while the third is set to automatically follow a subject. Discover endless control options from hardware to software, enabling you to take charge of your camera in a way that suits your workflow. Integrate easily into any existing production system thanks to support for HDMI, SDI, USB, and IP video streaming. Our joysticks are compatible with most PTZ cameras, including Sony. Manage all your deployed cameras with the new PTZOptics camera management platform, compatible with any desktop operating system. Perform in-app tools like color correction on the fly, fitting easily into any workflow using OBS, vmix, and other video production software. Whether it's the award-winning 1080p excellence of the Producer SE or the ultimate precision of the Producer 4K, PTZOptics Producer Bundles are tailored for every production aspiration. With a 5-year warranty and lifetime support, Your vision deserves the best tools. Make your choice today.